Exclamation, everybody! Welcome to a little indie game, a roguelike game that I stumbled upon called Adventure Dungeon, made by one developer, Winter Drake. And I noticed, you'll see I'm playing alpha version 091. I noticed prior to starting up this recording that there's already a new version out there, 093 at the time of my recording this. So being updated quite frequently, I just didn't bother to download the to download it because I was already ready to go. I just wanted to check it before I start it because I wanted to make sure I got the guy's name right, or gal's name right. I assume that's a guy's name. And here's where I start insulting the developer. Oh, my apologies. So I've noticed this is obviously a take on Zelda, among other things. Binding of Isaac being another one, which was also a take on the original Legends of Zelda. Wow, I lasted 1 minute 25 seconds. That's pretty good for me, given how terrible I am at all games in general. What I've noticed recently is there's just been this sort of resurgence in roguelikes just within the recent month or so. Either that, or I'm just noticing them more. Probably, maybe it's a little bit of both. I know that there's a recent update to my life. There's been a recent update to FTL, which is another game, a roguelike game that I've played. I never recorded because it was off. It was before I had a YouTube channel here. But I noticed that they're coming out with some free DLC, so I'll probably more than likely be recording that when that comes out. So I played through that, got to the end but never actually beat it, because at the end is just ridiculous. I mean, I got the end boss down to about a quarter of the health, a quarter hull, and then that was about it. So that just gives you a little bit of a background on how bad I am at roguelikes, let alone at video games in general. So far, I'm not doing too bad, I guess. This is a cool little game. I enjoy the music of this game already. I have this soft spot in my heart for the chiptune music. I often actually will listen to chiptune-like music when I'm at work programming myself. Oh, what the hell is that? Okay. So I find it helps get me into a nice cheery mood, regardless of what the tune is, and it helps to concentrate too. I usually, when I'm programming, usually tend to stick to any kind of music that is has no words. So a lot of video game music, for instance, tends to be on my playlist. So far, actually, I'm not doing so bad this run. I'm surprised. Honestly, shocked. I did play once off camera, just to get a feel for the game and also to see what resolution it was running at. Ooh, this is the first I've gotten. I've never seen the blue area here. I might actually do good this time around. Of course, now I'll jinx myself. So, just from a control perspective, I'm using spacebar for pretty much everything. That's my primary attack. Oh, got skeletons here. And The control key is your secondary thing up there, which right now is the slingshot, which uses your secondary is really the thing that uses the mana bar, which I haven't really done at all yet. I don't know. I think I like the double swords a little bit better than this sword. I feel like I was doing more damage with the double swords. Maybe not. Doesn't matter though, because that was the end of my run. 3 minutes and 25 seconds. That is, believe it or not, the longest I've gone so far. That just goes to show you. Oh, and these damn bats. I don't know what it is with video games and bats, but I hate that. They are the worst mob ever. I've been playing Sword to Go on the mobile device on a tablet, and the bats in there are just as bad. It just doesn't matter what game you play. The bats are just terrible. Let's see what we got here. Alright. I don't know. This protection spell, I don't know what it's supposed to do, honestly. Because it doesn't seem to be protecting me. At all. Unless it's just reducing the amount of damage I receive. I don't know. It's not very clear to me. Take these guys out. So far, the controls are pretty responsive anyway. It's taken a little bit of getting used to as to where my sword is actually going to slash, because as you can see, I keep walking right into these guys. And the other thing is there's no moment of invulnerability. Well, actually there is, but it's these mobs don't seem to care. Like their pathing will keep them following me even after they should have done a hit. Like when I'm invulnerable. Which makes it a little bit, it sort of is a cheap way of increasing the difficulty. I mean that in the best possible terms. But it is, in my mind, a little bit of a cheap method. Because the monsters have a basic, attack, movement. Both attack and just regular patrol. But it seems like when they don't detect that they would have hit you. Ooh, what's that guy doing? So like, yeah, it's like, see when I'm invulnerable here now. I would expect that the monsters would sort of retreat a little bit, as though they hit me, and just give me a chance to sort of recover. But they don't, and it's not a big deal. It's just, it's sort of, in my mind, makes it a little bit more, a little bit cheaper. It cheapens it a little bit, as far as the deaths go. But it's all part of it. It is a roguelike after all, so it's meant to be a little bit ridiculous as far as difficulty level. Alright. Go down a level. Lifesteal. Luck and lifesteal, okay. I don't really see any lifesteal happening. I don't know. Does that only happen when I touch them, or is it just random? Or does it increase the chance of having a lifesteal? I don't know. These are all questions I don't have the answer to. Perhaps if I actually read something, I'd probably have the answer to it. It might be right up on his website for all I know. And I just can't be bothered to read the manual. Alright. Where to next? I think, ooh, hourglass. Oh, nice. Oh, good. They're slower. That works for me. I think the only, maybe useful feedback I could have right now is, I think the enemies on this first couple levels, they might need a little bit more variety. It's just bats and slimes and rats, but it seems to favor bats over everything else right now, which gets a little bit old, I guess, after a while. Maybe a little bit more variety in the early levels. Because it wasn't until those later levels that I started to see actual, you know, skeletons and things like that. Which is fine, it's just, you know, since you're going to be dying quite often, it's nice to have maybe a little bit different, different visuals. something different to look at. At least from the perspective of mobs, of enemies. The drops though in the middle of the rooms here are sufficiently random anyway. Alright. And I'm not sure what is that number next to the other thing, next to like the fireball there, is that how much it costs? Because I haven't really been, mana-wise I mean, because I haven't really been keeping track here. I'm guessing that's what it is. I thought it was charges, number of charges at first, but no, it doesn't go down, so I'm guessing it's the cost. And I don't know, what's that torch do? Ooh! There's some fire behind here. Got flame shoes and I know how to use them. Either that or I've just had a really, really bad case of gas. What? And I don't know. I've got so many effects on me right now. I don't know what the hell I've got and what I don't have. I've got these sparkles coming off my head, and I've got flames shooting out my ass. I don't know what's going on. Got that guy. That guy. More damage. That is always a fun party game. So far, everything's working really great. I'm getting good, you know, there hasn't been any slowdowns at all, which is nice. The game is kind of small. It's not as small as some of the like 8-bit pixely type of things, indie games out there that I've seen. I played one recently that I want to actually record, possibly. That I found on Reddit, and I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately. But it's sort of like a take on Deus Ex, only, you know, like this 2D top down. Well, it was actually isometric, but seriously, the game was like postage stamp sized on my. It was only 640 by 480. And I could barely see it. But anyway, I think I've done a good job of showing off the game. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next episode.